Hi, I'm Philippa Vine, and today I'm going to teach you how to make seeded flatbread. For the recipe you need 250 grams of seeded flour or malt flour. To make the bread really light and also for the yeast to react, you've got to warm the flour, so I just put it at the back of my Alga. Right, I've got 150 ml of warm water, and really that needs to be sort of like a warm bath temperature. If you put that on the scales and then put it to 0, and then you need 10 grams of fresh yeast. Now I love using fresh yeast because it's so much quicker using fresh yeast than dried. When you've added the yeast, I'll put some honey in as well, about half a teaspoon of honey, and that feeds the yeast and starts it going. The advantage of using fresh yeast is that it's got a nicer flavour, and also it goes quicker as well. It reacts quicker. It's quicker to make, and you can get that if you've got a friendly local bakery. But you put the yeast onto one side, and then until it's reacted, until it goes frothy, for about 5 minutes. I've made one earlier, and you can tell that the yeast is ready. It's when it's sort of all fizzing. So I've got some warm flour, and in that I'm going to add a teaspoon of salt, again just for flavour. 2 tablespoons of oil, again that's for flavour and also texture. It makes it nice and stretchy, the bread. And then just all you do, you pour in the yeast, and you can tell, look at that lovely fizz. Bind it together, and I always use a kitchen knife because it's less messy, and it makes it go together. And you can do that with a knife at the edge as well. Right, that's ready to turn out, and then what you do, put a little bit of flour on your surface. Not too much, otherwise it makes it too dry. Just knead it, for not too much, but just until it's soft, the dough, until it goes really, the yeast is beginning to work. And I think it's just coming now. I mean, that's the good thing about using fresh yeast, that makes it much quicker to react. Right, put it back in the bowl, and then put it in a warm place till it's double in size. Put the dough into proof, just put a towel around it, and then put it in a warm place. I can see whether the bread's ready, has proved enough. Oh yes, I think it's almost perfect. It's quite spongy, wonderful. The yeast has really reacted. And for you to see as well, if I cut it across, you can see the bubbles and that's perfect. Now all you need to do now is just shape it. So I would just do a couple of kneading. Again, that will just help make a smooth surface, and then just roll it out. And to me, as it's called flatbread, it would be sort of fairly flat. It could be round, oblong. You could even sort of flatten it with your hands up like this. Just very lightly brush it with oil, just to stop it from sticking. And then put the bread on the tray, and then brush it with a little milk. And this, because we're going to add some extra pumpkin, sesame seeds, and also sunflower seeds. And this will just help it stick. Just scatter them, and then just leave it to rise again in a warm place, just for about 15 minutes or whenever it sort of has doubled in size. There you are. Again, put it in a warm place like you did with the dough first, which again is at the back of my Alga or inside like that, and wait for it to prove till about double in size. Oh, that's good. The flatbread's perfect now. It's just risen to double. So now I'm just going to put it in the oven about 15-20 minutes. until it's golden brown. Okay, I'm just going to see the one I made earlier. I think that's just about done. That's perfect. It's just a golden on the top, and you know, getting this cooked through, and it's all ready now for eating. So what I suggest is, if you've got friends around, I'll put it in the middle of the table, and people can sort of just tear it off, dipped in either hummus or olive oil. And delicious. Right, just before your guests arrive, just put it on a board. That's what I do, and then just tear it off, chunks of it, and it's delicious. And people can help themselves. But making bread is really quite sort of hassle-free. I mean, you do have to be a bit more organised, but what I would do, if you've got friends coming over for lunch or for supper, make it before and get to the final stage of proving before you put it in the oven, and then sort of leave it in a warm oven, and then just before people come, put it in the oven, and then it's all ready for eating.